Eagle double G.
What's up, YouTube? This is your friendly neighborhood movie nerd, back to give you guys everything that is going on in the world of movies and TV. I am officially back from vacation, and I'm ready to get right back into the fold because it is January now. We are getting closer and closer to Oscar season, so it is time to get these reviews wrapped up so we can get into Oscar season. And this is my review for the next movie that I predict is going to be getting a lot of awards and nominations come that time. This is my review for I, Tonya.
Stop that.
So I, Tonya is directed by Craig Gillespie, the director of Lars and the Real Girl, and stars Margot Robbie as Tonya Harding, the world-famous figure skater who was involved in one of the most outlandish and famous scandals of the 90s, second only to the O.J. Simpson trial, which is ironic because this actually came before the Simpson trial. The story goes is that in order to help her qualify for the 1993 Winter Olympics, Tonya's at-the-time husband, Jeff Gillooly, who's played in the movie by Sebastian Stan, and bodyguard Sean Eckert, played by Paul Walter Hauser, hired two people to cripple Tonya's competitor at the time, Nancy Kerrigan, and from there, shenanigans ensued. Now, I had no idea even who Tonya Harding was before I heard about this movie, and I definitely had no idea that there was a scandal on par with the OJ trial in the 90s. And after seeing this movie, I'm honestly shocked that Ryan Murphy didn't make this his next season of American Crime Story, because that's how outlandish and ridiculous it is that something like this actually happened. With all that being said, I, Tonya is absolutely fantastic. This is one of the best movies of the year that I have seen easily. Now, Craig Gillespie, in kind of the same way that Edgar Wright and the Safdie brothers did with Baby Driver and Good Time, he brings his absolutely insane energy to this movie that keeps you locked in and 100% entertained from the moment this movie starts until it ends. I am never bored watching this movie. This movie is absolutely enthralling to me, and considering the fact that I've watched about 5 two-hour movies in the last couple of weeks that just felt like they dragged on and did not need to be 2 hours at all, this felt like a breath of fresh air. Another thing the Gillespie and screenwriter Steve Roger nailed with this movie is the unreliable narration and fourth wall breaks. Now, usually a storytelling technique like that is reserved for comedies, but when it is used in dramas, it's extremely limited. What they knock out of the park in this movie, however, is kind of what they changed up how that technique was used in movies like The Wolf of Wall Street and Big Short, with the cutaways and like the kind of like over-narrating, just like, oh, this is what happened, but this is what we're going to tell you because this is what you're really interested in. Because what they do this time is they tell the story from 3 different viewpoints, and they're constantly comparing and contrasting of what actually happened versus what may have happened versus what didn't happen. Like, there will legitimately be parts in this movie that happen, and then the characters will turn to the camera and be like, oh, I never did. This is completely 100% bullshit. And that's really interesting to me. You would think that that would be distracting, but it's actually really well utilized. Those 2 career best performances from everybody here. Margot Robbie, I've seen her in only 3 movies so far, and I can already tell this is her best performance she's ever done. Besides the fact that her American accent is 100% pitch perfect, what Robbie's able to do the best here is, despite the fact that Harding as a character is somebody who has spent most of her life as a victim, she still comes off as kind of an unlikable character, but Margot Robbie does a really good job of really making her sympathetic and somebody who you want to root for, which is a really tough thing to nail down. Then, of course, you have the acting force that is Allison Janney. I've been in love with this woman ever since The West Wing, which was how I was introduced to her. She is most definitely deserving of that Best Supporting Actress Oscar nomination that she will most likely be nominated for and win in a couple of months. You heard it here first, as her domineering egomaniac of a mother. Although I do have a few slight problems with the fact that despite the fact that she is amazing in this role, her performance comes off as a tad bit one note. For me, at least, the 2 scene stealers when supporting performances, which these were supporting performances that I did not see coming and how great they were. Worse, one was Sebastian Stan as her husband, Jeff Gillooly. Him and Robbie balance each other out so perfectly, and he does a great job of playing off someone who you both feel bad for him, but you also kind of hate him at the same time, because he's somebody where he causes everything that he gets himself into, but at the same time, just the way he reacts to both Tonya and the situation that happens, you still feel bad for him after what happens. And Paul Walter Hauser as Sean Eckert, kind of like the mastermind behind the whole thing, he is absolutely spectacular in the movie, because his mannerisms and the fact that he just casually brings up these like tidbits of wisdom, but it's compounded with the fact that his character is a total moron, it provides for some of the film's funniest moments. I will say that the constant juggling narration, it's a little bit of a he said, she said that makes this movie a little bit hard to follow at points, but it's not nearly enough to throw off my enjoyment. This movie is absolutely fantastic. I cannot recommend this enough. This is an amazing biopic. This is a tour de force of directing work. The soundtrack is awesome. The performances are out of this world good, and this is one that I'm definitely going to remember for a long, long time as one of the few bright spots in this absolute dog crap of a year. 9 out of 10 stars. I will say, though, after having finally watched this movie, I would not classify this as a comedy. Like, I can certainly understand that there are comedic elements of this, but overall, this is one that I kind of can't understand why they're putting in the comedy category, not like a Get Out, which I disagree with everybody, and I 100% think that that movie is a comedy. Still not as outrageous as The Martian getting nominated and winning Best Comedy 2 years ago. That's ridiculous. So that's it. That is my official review for I, Tonya. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Also, be sure to click the like button and the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Movie Nerd Review. Also, head on over to my website, movienerdreviews.com, for all of my written reviews. That is it. I will see you guys next time.
Go!